Tonight, the Minnesota Vikings face a choice that could haunt the franchise for a decade or spark a total defensive revolution. The wait is finally over, and the name on everyone's lips right now is Dylan Thieneman. The Oregon safety is the heavy favorite to land in Minnesota at pick number 18. But with the draft starting in just hours, the risk of missing out on a franchise-changing talent is higher than we have ever seen in recent years now. Dylan Thieneman is more than just a name in a mock draft. He is the overwhelming favorite to wear the purple and gold by the end of the night. As someone who has spent years watching this front office operate, I can tell you the betting markets are screaming his name. Right now, he has an incredibly high probability of being our pick at 18. In the world of sports betting, those numbers do not just happen by accident. They suggest that the league knows something we are all starting to realize. Thieneman is the guy Brian Flores wants to lead this secondary. He is a safety from Oregon who has dominated the conversation throughout the entire pre-draft process. If this really happens, everything changes for us. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next update. We are looking at a player who can cover the whole field. For our older fans who remember the great defensive backfields of the past, he brings that same level of intensity. The simple truth is that the Vikings need a playmaker who can stop the deep ball and hit like a truck. The rumors are flying in Pittsburgh right now, and almost every major analyst has Thieneman tied to our team. It is a simple situation. If he is on the board, the Vikings are expected to pull the trigger. Why does this matter so much today? Because our defense struggled last year to stay consistent. Adding a blue-chip safety at 18 is the most direct way to fix those holes. The draft is a high-stakes game of poker, and the Vikings are holding a very strong hand. But we have seen favorites fall before. We have seen teams jump ahead of us to steal the player we want most. That is where the tension lies. If another team decides they need a safety and trades up, we are left scrambling. However, if the board falls the way the experts predict, Thieneman will be the newest member of the Vikings defense. This is about making sure our secondary is not a liability anymore. It is about giving our coaching staff the tools they need to compete in a tough division. We are hours away from the official announcement, and the buzz in the building is electric. The front office knows this pick defines their legacy. We must be ready for anything tonight. This choice will echo through the halls of US Bank Stadium forever. Colton Hood is the name that is causing a lot of debate behind the scenes right now. While many people are locked in on a safety, respected analysts like Daniel Jeremiah are pointing toward this cornerback from Tennessee. This is where the conflict starts to grow. This young man is a massive talent, but there is a major red flag that the front office is sweating over right now. He has been on 4 different football teams in 4 years. We have seen the flashes of greatness on the field, but this constant moving around makes people wonder about his stability. Can he handle the pressure of being a first-round pick in Minnesota? The gap between his potential and the current frustration is clear. On one hand, he is 6 feet tall and nearly 200 pounds with all the physical tools you want in a professional cornerback. He is consistent and strong. On the other hand, the Vikings have a painful history with first-round cornerbacks. We remember the names from 2015, 2018, and 2020. Those picks did not work out the way we hoped. Bringing in someone who has already hopped around to multiple colleges feels like a massive gamble. The scouts are divided. Some see a versatile player who has succeeded in different systems. Others see a player who cannot settle down. This new problem is exactly why the decision at 18 is so difficult. If the team passes on a safety to take a cornerback with this much baggage, the fans will have questions. Brian Flores needs consistency in his secondary. He needs players who will be here for the long haul. The tension is building because we know the talent is there. We can see the speed and the ball skills on tape. But the mental side of the game is just as important. Choosing him would be a total departure from the safe pick. It would be a swing for the fences. The front office is weighing the risk of another failed cornerback pick against the reward of a lockdown defender. Every time his name comes up in draft meetings, the room gets quiet. They know that if they get this wrong, it could set the defense back another 3 years. The clock is ticking, and the choice between a reliable safety and a high-risk cornerback is tearing the draft board apart. Our team needs a hero. This draft pick matters because it will directly decide if we win more games this season. It is that simple. We are not talking about some complex roster strategy or future planning. We are talking about whether our defense can stop the other team from scoring. If we get this pick right, our defense becomes a wall. If we get it wrong, we are going to see the same old mistakes that have frustrated us for years. The consequences are immediate. A top-tier safety or cornerback can change the game on the very first Sunday of the season. They can catch the interceptions that turn a loss into a win. They can make the tackles that keep the other team out of the end zone. If the Vikings land a star tonight, it means our veteran players get more help. It means our pass rush has more time to get to the quarterback because the receivers are actually covered. This is the domino effect that wins championships. We are tired of seeing the secondary give up big plays in the fourth quarter. We are tired of the almost wins. This choice at 18 is the solution to those heartbreaks. The risk of failure is also very real. If we pick a player who cannot keep up with professional speed, our whole season could fall apart. We cannot afford to waste a first-round pick on a player who will just sit on the bench. The impact on the fans is just as big. We want to be proud of our defense again. We want to know that when the game is on the line, our secondary is ready for the challenge. Choosing the right player tonight sends a message to the rest of the league. It says the Vikings are serious about winning now. It says we are building a team that can compete with the best in the world. Every person in Minnesota knows how important this night is. We have been waiting for this moment since the final whistle of last season. The tension is at an all-time high because the stakes are so high. A win tonight in the draft room leads to wins on the field in September. A loss tonight could mean another year of frustration and what-ifs. This is the moment where the future of the team is decided. We are all watching, and we are all hoping for a miracle at pick 18. We want glory. Let's look at the best-case scenario for tonight. The Vikings stay at 18 and Dylan Theinman is still there. We call his name, and he becomes the leader of our secondary for the next 10 years. He wins Rookie of the Year and helps us win the division. The fans are happy, the coaches are happy, and the defense becomes elite. It is a dream come true for everyone in purple. This is the scenario where the front office looks like geniuses. They saw the talent, they waited for their spot, and they got their man. It is the perfect start to a new era of Vikings football. The energy in the stadium would be incredible. But now, look at the worst-case scenario. Imagine we pass on the safety and take a cornerback who struggles to learn the system. He gets beat for touchdowns in the first 3 games. Meanwhile, the players we passed on are becoming stars for other teams. The frustration would be unbearable. We would be back in the same cycle of searching for answers in the secondary. This is the fear that keeps every fan awake at night. We have seen this movie before, and we do not want to see it again. The contrast between these two outcomes is why the draft is so stressful. It is a thin line between success and failure. If this works, it changes the trajectory of the entire franchise. We become a destination for other great players. We become a team that nobody wants to play against. But if it fails, the pressure on the coaching staff will become massive. People will start asking questions about why we made the move. The emotional tension is real because we care so much about this team. We want to see them succeed. We want to see a defense that hits hard and plays smart. Short sentences increase the tension as the clock winds down. The pick is coming. The decision is being made. The phone is ringing. Is it the right call? Or is it another mistake? The difference between a championship and a losing season often comes down to one single name on a piece of paper. Tonight, that name will be revealed. The hope is high, but the fear of the unknown is always there. This is why we love the draft. This is why we are all on the edge of our seats. One choice remains. The situation is clear as the draft clock begins to tick. The Minnesota Vikings are standing at a crossroads at pick number 18. They have the chance to draft a top-tier safety like Dylan Theinman who could anchor the defense for a decade. Or they could gamble on a high-upside cornerback like Colton Hood and hope to break a long streak of first-round misses at that position. The pressure is immense, and the margin for error is 0. Brian Flores needs a playmaker, and the front office needs a win. We have analyzed the rumors, checked the betting odds, and weighed the risks. Now, it all comes down to one phone call from Pittsburgh. Be honest, would you trust a rookie who has played for 4 teams in 4 years to save our secondary? Your opinion matters, so let us know in the comments what you would do. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a Vikings update. This isn't just a move for today. It's a decision that will define this team for years.